You can now download TikTok once again from the Apple and Google app stores. Weeks ago, the companies were removed from the app to comply with a new law banning it in the United States, and the TikTok app went dark. Then President Donald Trump signed an executive order to delay the enforcement of the ban, and TikTok feeds in the United States, well, they lit up once again, but new users could not download the app until just last night. So let's bring in CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady. Kelly, thank you for being with us again today. What do we know about what prompted Apple and Google to suddenly bring the apps back into, bring the TikTok rather back into the App Store?
So it likely has to do with enforcement of penalties. So, as you mentioned, right, Apple and Google, even with the ban on pause, they still removed TikTok from the App Store. And they shared at that time that they were concerned about any penalties that they would have to pay for not enforcing the letter of the law there. Now, Bloomberg is reporting that Attorney General Pam Bondi sent a letter to Google and Apple and said that they would not be enforcing, that the DOJ would not be enforcing those penalties while the ban is on pause. As you can imagine, last night, people on social media were very excited, all of a sudden posting like, look, it's back, download it if you didn't download it. But I want to emphasize TikTok is not out of the woods. That ban deadline was extended to April. And there still needs to be a seller, or rather a buyer, in order to ensure that that ban doesn't go into place at that point. Yesterday in the Oval Office, President Trump did say that there seems to be a lot of interest, and he said it would likely be in China's best interest in order to make a deal, as the U.S. is a very big revenue source for TikTok. But remember, any buyer, they would have to satisfy antitrust concerns. They would have to pay a pretty big price tag for something that wouldn't include the algorithm, and something like that happens, it takes a long time to happen, instead of in just a couple of months. So not out of the woods.
All right, we'll wait to see what happens after April. And Kelly, we know just yesterday, President Donald Trump sat down with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to talk trade. The two leaders, they shook hands and they made promises. But the big question is, what does all of that mean for Americans?
So especially for American businesses, it is going to mean more demand. Just to put some numbers behind it, they committed to increasing their total trade between the two countries to $500 billion by 2030. Right now, it's actually under $200 billion. So that is a huge jump. And India, of course, would be one of the biggest targets of those reciprocal tariffs we were talking about yesterday. That likely incentivized some of that negotiation and talk during the meeting between these two country leaders. And specifically, India has committed to buying more energy from the U.S. So think oil, think liquefied natural gas, and they've also committed to increasing their defense buying. So a lot of American businesses are going to benefit from this. This is something that President Trump had wanted to target, getting rid of that trade deficit, meaning that we buy more from them than they buy from us. So the first round of these trade negotiations should be finished about fall of this year.
Okay. Now, Kelly, it's Valentine's Day. I'm sure a lot of people know that. And that means many Americans, they're swiping their credit cards for dinner and a gift. But at the same time, new numbers are telling us that we're sinking deeper into debt. So what can you tell us about that?
I know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news on Valentine's Day, but that is true. So Americans' household debt has reached an all-time high of over $18 trillion. So that includes everything from your mortgage, your car loans, your credit cards. We added $93 billion to that total just in the last 3 months alone. And specifically, credit card debt has reached an all-time high at $1.21 trillion. And, things are expensive. People are carrying those balances. The interest is building up. And of course, we've talked about with the Fed pausing on lowering interest rates, that credit card interest rate is going to remain very high. So yeah, swiping that credit card, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be doing that tonight and this weekend. It's likely only going to increase that number.
Yeah, well, Kelly O'Grady, thank you so much for your time today. Advice for everyone out there, have some fun, but maybe not spend too much. Thanks, Kelly.